Welcome to Chapter 2. Here we're going to renumber modes, their chords, and their chord progressions. We're going to compare scales, and we're going to take a look at some popular song examples. Renumbering is important because it teaches you how the modes differ in their interval structure, and it teaches you how to think of and hear music from its pitch center rather than its parent major scale. This perspective is important as you advance into higher forms of music theory, such as key changes, modal interchange, borrowed chords, and even harmonic minor. So to begin with, we're going to review the interval structure of the major scale. I'm going to play the G major scale. Now the major scale intervals are what we think of as naturally occurring intervals. So you've got 7 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and those are considered intervals as well. So the second note is a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, a seventh, and so on. Whenever an interval differs from what occurs in the major scale, then you have to put a sharp or a flat sign in front of it. So let's move to the second mode of, the mode based on the second degree of the G major scale, A Dorian mode, which is the notes of the G major scale starting on A. And let's look at how the interval structure is different when you count from A. So we're going to renumber starting on A. So A is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's go through those again. So you got 1, 2, 3. And here at 3, something different occurs. Normally, in a major scale, the third is 2 whole steps above 1. But here, it's just a step and a half. So we call that a flat third. Let's keep going. Then you have 4, 5, 6, 7. And the 7th is different. Normally in a major scale, the 7th would be a half step below your tonic 1, but here it's a whole step, so we call that a flat 7. So the interval structure of A Dorian mode is 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, and then you're back on 1 again. Now it's important to think of the interval structure this way. You don't want to, even though you're using the very same notes, scale patterns, and even chords, we'll get to that in a minute, as G major, you want to think of this as being uniquely A Dorian mode. And you want to think of A as 1, always think of your tonic pitch as 1, and then renumber from there. And the reason why is because when you're playing in A Dorian mode, the first 3 notes are A, B, and C, right? And you hear them as 1, 2, and flat 3. Now in the G major scale, you also have A, B, and C, but you hear them as the second and the third and the fourth. Because when you're playing in G major, your ear hears G as the starting point. So you're hearing G to A, G to B, G to C. So you're hearing the interval of a second, of a third, of a fourth. But when you're in A Dorian mode, your ear hears A as the starting pitch. So it doesn't hear B as a major third like you do in the G major scale. It hears it, your ear hears B as a second. It hears C as a minor third, and so on. So it's important to think of them that way because that's how you're truly hearing them. And the same is true for the chords. In order to play the chords for A Dorian mode, you know that you play the very same chords that you use in the G major scale. So I'm going to play through those chords, and I'm going to renumber them starting on A. Let's just do a quick review. Here's G major scale chords: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If you want to play 1 again up there, you can. So let's do those same chords, but let's start on the A minor. So this is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. G would be 7, and then A minor is 1 again. Now there's more to it than that because some of those intervals were flat. So let's do it again. You've got 1, 2, flat 3. We call that flat 3. 4, 5, 6. G is flat 7. The distance from A to G is a flat 7, or A down to G like that is a flat 7.